Bringing right now former FBI Assistant Director Bill Gavin. Bill, thanks for joining us. For the audience who may not have seen the news or heard the news, the statement came out earlier today. James Comey wrote a letter to 8 members of the 8 Republican members who have been overseeing this whole investigation into the Hillary Clinton emails, saying that they have learned of the existence of emails that appear to be pertinent to the investigation. And the FBI would take appropriate investigative steps designed to allow investigators to review these emails and determine whether they contain classified information and to assess their importance into the investigation. The FBI cannot assess whether or not this material will be significant and cannot predict how long this will take. Obviously, for this to come out 11 days before the election, I understand the spin and what this letter says, but it must be extraordinary information because it is a bombshell.
I couldn't agree more, Charles. I think that what Jim Comey did today is pull the tip of the iceberg out of the water. I think there's a lot more that's going to be come across to the American public in the very near future. This whole question of whether or not it's going to take a long time, how long is it going to take for the FBI to address this investigation? I believe that probably a lot of it has already been done. There's been a lot of time between the last time the director was on and now. I believe a lot of that investigation has become known. Bottom line is there's 3 different things. To me, it can affect the Clinton Foundation, some information about the pay-to-play. It can affect Hillary's server and some of the classified information that might have come off her server into the possession of Huma and her husband, ex-husband-to-be. And it can also be some candid conversations between Hillary and Huma Abedin, who appears to be the power behind the throne, talking about what really happened with that server. It may very well be the poison dart that everybody's looking for.
Let's start with the last one that you mentioned here, because it would appear that they've already investigated all of the emails and all of the other sort of electronic or digital transactions that she had. And perhaps because from what I understand, and of course this is still somewhat speculation, but it's been reported there are 4 devices out there. Could it be, and again, we're sort of speculating a little bit, but you circled this here, that there's maybe something on one of these devices that should have been on the emails that Hillary Clinton submitted to the FBI?
Absolutely. That's a strong possibility, Charles. And this is so confusing. I'm flummoxed by the whole thing, but not totally. From the standpoint, these people are capable of doing almost anything. And with those kinds of emails, if in fact Hillary had been talking to Huma through a separate channel, and there's some emails where they really discuss what was done with the emails, what was done with the server, and maybe what was done with the foundation. There is a lot of trouble ahead, and that's why I say we're looking at the tip of the iceberg. I think that's going to pop up and become very, very hazardous for the campaign.
Bill, I'd like to ask you a question before I let you go. When James Comey came out with that long, sort of non-indictment indictment, it felt like at that particular point, at least through his interpretation of what laws may have been broken, he decriminalized carelessness. He decriminalized, those sort of mistakes. And he focused on intent. Now, most people say he read the statute wrong and that was incorrect. But can he circle back down and maybe find a way to say, okay, carelessness to this degree was criminal?
Well, it could very well be that there's some additional information that wasn't present. Of course, I'm not privy to the inner workings of the last investigation, nor to the inner workings of the decision-making process. But by the same token, there could be some additional information at this particular point in time that has encouraged him to come step forward and talk about it here and now. This is a very, very late time to be doing this, but that's what makes me think it is extremely important to bring it out at this particular point in time. This is going to be cataclysmic.
Yeah, it is extremely important. That's why we're glad you spent the time with your expertise. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, Bill.